In this video, we are going to cover a detailed summary of Thomas Kyd's revenge tragedy, The Spanish Tragedy, explaining its plot, characters, violence, and justice-driven downfall in narrative form. So let's start. The Spanish Tragedy by Thomas Kyd is one of the earliest and most influential revenge tragedies in English literature. The play explores themes of justice, revenge, madness, delay, and moral corruption, presenting a dark world where lawful authority fails and personal vengeance takes control. The play opens in a symbolic and supernatural setting. The ghost of Don Andrea, a Spanish nobleman killed in battle by Prince Balthazar of Portugal, appears alongside the personified figure of revenge. Don Andrea recounts how he was slain during war and how his soul was sent to the underworld. Revenge promises that Andrea will witness the punishment of those responsible for his death. This framing device establishes revenge as the guiding force of the entire play. The scene shifts to the Spanish court, where the Spanish king celebrates victory over Portugal. Prince Balthazar has been captured and brought to Spain as a prisoner of war. The Portuguese viceroy mourns his son's capture, while the Spanish king decides that Balthazar will be treated honorably despite his status as a prisoner. Balthazar is placed under the custody of Don Lorenzo, the king's nephew, and Horacio, the son of Hieronimo, the knight marshal of Spain. As Balthazar settles into court life, he becomes romantically interested in Belimperia, the niece of the Duke of Castile. However, Belimperia secretly loves Horacio. Their relationship creates jealousy and tension, especially for Lorenzo and Balthazar, who feel insulted and threatened by Horacio's growing influence. Driven by envy and ambition, Lorenzo and Balthazar plot to eliminate Horacio. With the help of Lorenzo's servants Pedringano and Cerverin, they arrange a secret meeting at night. Horacio and Belimperia meet in an arbor, believing themselves safe. Suddenly, Lorenzo and Balthazar attack. Horacio is brutally stabbed and hanged from a tree, while Belimperia is forcibly taken away. This violent murder becomes the emotional core of the play. Hieronimo, Horacio's father, soon discovers his son's lifeless body. Overwhelmed with grief and shock, he desperately searches for justice. As the knight marshal, Hieronimo believes in law and order, but he finds himself trapped in a corrupt system that protects the powerful. His grief slowly transforms into obsession as he vows to uncover the truth behind Horacio's murder. Belimperia, imprisoned by her brother Lorenzo, manages to write a letter to Hieronimo using her own blood as ink. In the letter, she reveals the names of Horacio's murderers. When Hieronimo reads it, he is torn between his desire for revenge and his duty to seek justice through lawful means. This inner conflict leads to his mental breakdown, a central feature of the play. Hieronimo attempts to bring the matter before the king, hoping for legal punishment. However, court politics prevents him from speaking openly. His appeals are ignored, and he's dismissed as a grieving father who has lost his reason. This failure of justice pushes Hieronimo further toward madness. Meanwhile, Lorenzo attempts to cover up the crime. He kills his own servant, Cerverin, to silence him, and manipulates Pedringano into believing he will be protected. Lorenzo secretly ensures Pedringano's execution, using him as a disposable tool. These acts expose Lorenzo's cruelty and lack of conscience. Hieronimo's mental state deteriorates further. He speaks in riddles, behaves erratically, and becomes obsessed with revenge. The ghost of Andrea and revenge continue to observe events, reinforcing the idea that revenge is inevitable and divinely sanctioned. Hieronimo's delay in action mirrors the tension between justice and vengeance, showing how hesitation intensifies suffering. Eventually, Hieronimo devises a clever and horrifying plan. He decides to take revenge through art and deception rather than open violence. He proposes a theatrical performance to celebrate diplomatic harmony between Spain and Portugal. The play, written by Hieronimo, will be performed by Lorenzo, Balthazar, Belimperia, and others. Each character is assigned a role in a different language, ensuring confusion and secrecy. Unbeknownst to the performers, Hieronimo replaces the stage weapons with real ones. During the performance, Belimperia stabs Balthazar, killing him in revenge for Horacio's death. Lorenzo is also killed on stage. What appears to be dramatic acting quickly turns into real slaughter. After the performance, the audience realizes that the deaths are real. Chaos erupts in the court. Hieronimo reveals the truth behind Horacio's murder and explains his elaborate plan. When questioned further, Hieronimo bites out his own tongue to prevent interrogation, symbolizing his complete rejection of legal authority and verbal justice. In a final act of desperation and fury, Hieronimo kills himself. Belimperia, having achieved her revenge, also takes her own life. The royal court is left devastated, surrounded by corpses and moral ruin. The ghost of Andrea finally witnesses the fulfillment of revenge's promise. In the closing scene, Andrea assigns eternal punishments to the guilty and rewards to the innocent, reinforcing a cosmic sense of justice. Although earthly justice failed, revenge has been completed in the supernatural realm. The Spanish tragedy presents a bleak vision of a world where legal systems collapse under corruption and power. Through Hieronimo's suffering, Kyd shows how personal grief can destroy rational thought and lead to extreme violence. The play established many conventions of the revenge tragedy genre, including ghosts, madness, delay, play within a play, and brutal revenge. The story remains powerful because it exposes the emotional cost of injustice. Hieronimo's transformation from a loyal officer of the law into a mad avenger highlights the danger of a society where justice is denied. The play ultimately suggests that when lawful justice fails, revenge becomes inevitable, even though it brings only destruction.